What's up guys, Phoenix here. This video is going to be a type of video that I haven't really done in quite a while, and that is combo tutorials. This video is going to be a combo tutorial on the Mermail Atlantean deck, one of hopefully many. I hope to do quite a few more of these for different situations, but I'm going to try my best to keep the combo videos as generic as possible, and then, you know, that way they can be molded upon, because this is actually just a deck that has so many different potential combo pieces and ways to get into combo pieces that if I were to cover all of them, I would have like a 100 video long series, because I'd have to literally go over every single variation in any combo string, and we would be here for probably about 70 to 100 hours if I went over every single combo with every single little variation in it that could happen. But as I've mentioned in the deck profile I did for this deck, as well as some of the games that I played, whether they were on DEVpro or in live duel format, I am a very big believer in this deck. I don't understand why people are discounting this deck as easily as they are. I believe it to be a very, very solid meta call for the format that we are in, as well as formats in the future, as long as Netabus exists and as long as Dragoons is at more than 1. Even if it's at 1, it's still actually just really good in the pure essence of theory, because the Mermail deck is just very good at both going first and going second. Going first, this deck now has access to a lot of different combos that allow you to take between 2 to 4 to even possibly 5 cards out of your opponent's hand, whereas if it goes second, you can just, by the nature of the inherent nature of the Atlantean monsters, as well as the Mermail deck itself, just start eating away at card resource that your opponent has. So this deck is potentially the best deck in my eyes, going first and second in this format as well as future formats. And this video is going to be a rather generic combo video, and it's going to be on taking 3 cards out of your opponent's hand and ending with at least your own 5 intact. And it's nothing that intense either in terms of what you need to open. All you need to open is like 3 ofs. I'm going to use these 3 cards. They're all 3 ofs. Netabus is technically even more than 3 of, but the combo actually doesn't work if you have Diva. Because Diva actually just makes it to where your water monster count and your field becomes clogged, and then your water monster count in grave starts getting clogged as well, so it makes it really hard to drop Moulinglace. But Netabus, Instant Fusion, and Abyss Teus are just 3 cards that you have 3 ofs. Instant Fusion can be supplemented in a different combo string by Salvage. You don't even have to open the Netabus. You could have 1-for-1 and a different combo string. You could have Diva and a card other than Teus. You can have Dragoons as well as one of the Sea Serpents that you would search, i.e. Megalo, Lead, or Moulinglace. There are multiple different starters to this combination of plays, but this is just the easiest one to show, and it's also just the one that yields the best result because you start with the least cards, and you end with the highest impact. But anyway, starting off, you normal summon your Netabus, and you use its effect to send Dragoons and add, you guessed it, Dragoons. And then the Dragoons Engrave will trigger to add Megalo to your hand. And now at this point, you'll continue on by special summoning Abyss Teus, by ditching ditching the Dragoons. I'm starting to trip over my own tongue already. But the Dragoons will search for Lead, and the Teus will search for Gun. I'm pretty sure you can see where this is going from here. But there's actually a step that you have to do before that you do any of this, because you can end up with some awkward water monster counts if you just went ahead and did the Megalo, ditch Gun, and Lead here. You'd end up with an awkward board as well as awkward water count in grave. That would make it really hard for you to efficiently drop the Moulinglace. So at this point, you're going to go ahead and use the Instant Fusion, and this also is a countermeasure for if your opponent's playing a deck like Shadal's or Burning Abyss. This is a countermeasure for that, because it allows you to make Dweller, get an initial search, and then take cards out of their hand. So it invalidates if they're playing BA, Shadal, any floater deck that would have gotten value out of getting discarded. So you can hit Graf, Skarms, Sears, all these things, and they'll not trigger. That's actually just a thing. Or even a Farfa. If you do this and you get Farfa, it actually just really hurts, because it can take the ability to take the other 2 cards out of their hand away from them. So making the Dweller here is just super safe. It's just extremely safe, and it also just pumps your entire board and makes everything just overall a lot more cohesive. So Dweller, detaching Dragoons, and then Dragoons that third Dragoon search will search for Moulinglace. So at this point, you have 2 waters in grave. You have Moulinglace plus these in hand. You're going to go ahead and activate your Megalos effect, and you're going to ditch Gund and lead. Doing this upside down is really weird, but also strangely rewarding, because it's like I can see it being done to me. But Gund will trigger and Megalo will trigger. The Gund will special your lead, and in this instance, normally you would search for the equip spell just to like invalidate Raigeki and stuff like that. But in this combo string, you're actually not going to end with any face-up Mermails, so you just get Abyss Sphere so you can get value and have potential, you know, to go into your next turn already set up even further than you already are. But from this point, you have Dweller active, your field is clogged, and you have 3 waters in grave. You use lead, and you tribute Teus. Oh my goodness. Who is leaving YouTube comments? Can you please not? At least not right now. Busy. But at this point, you use lead, tribute the Teus, and you take a card out of their hand. So you've taken 1 card out of their hand, so they're now at 4. And this is the situation that I was telling you about in the deck profile, or at least I was hinting at. I can't remember if I full on said it, on why I play Draco Sack. Because at this point, I've only got 4 waters in grave, and with the board that I have, there's no monster that I can do or make without, you know, factoring in what other 2 cards might be in my hand. But not factoring the 2 phantom cards, because remember, we started this with 3 cards. Not factoring those in, there's no way to make the 5th water appear in my grave, other than overlaying into a Draco Sack. Draco Sack being able to detach a material from itself straight away and put a water in grave is actually just very, very crucial here. So you detach, it doesn't really matter which one, I usually just end up detaching lead, and you get your 2 Draco Sack tokens. So you've got 5 in grave, but now your field's clogged. So what do? Well, what you do is that you use Draco Sack's effect, attributing a token, and targeting the Draco Sack itself. Now Draco Sack, for those of you that don't remember, is protected from destruction as long as there is a token on the field. And there is still one, so you can target itself with the token destruction effect, and it will not destroy itself. So it will stay, you're all set, and you're all good. And then your field has an open spot, and there's still 5 waters in grave, which is why we didn't do something like pop the Net Abyss. We could have popped the Net Abyss if we weren't trying to drop Moulinglace, or if we had like 4 waters in grave, because that would play around like the ability of you playing against Cosmo, because this could just get run over with Farm Girl. Because it's still, even though it's getting a boost, it's still only at 13. But you basically just take that chance with this deck. And then you special the Moulinglace's effect, take 2 cards out of their hands. And so basically you've Dwellered them, and you've taken 3 cards out, and you have a sphere. You started with 3 cards in this combo, and you end with 5 actual cards and a token. So even not factoring the token in, but even if you do, because it is technically a resource, because Draco Sack, it's protecting it, so it is technically a tangible card, whereas in most cases, tokens aren't tangible resources. But because this one's being paired with Draco Sack, it actually is a tangible resource, because Draco Sack cannot die until this token leaves, and this token is a destruction card through the Draco Sack effect. So you do end with 6 overall cards. You started with 3, so that's a +3. You take 3 cards away from your opponent, so that's, in raw essence of theory, a +6. And just not even factoring in the other 2 cards that were in your hand, you could have taken this further. You could have possibly, if you'd opened with Diva and Salvage instead of Neptibus, you could have made a Trishula here as well, taking a 4th card out of their hand. There's a lot of different things that fall into line on what you could have done with this combo string. But it's very, very good against pretty much everything, simply because, like, if you played against Pepe and you hit damage jugglers out of their hand, cool. You can just draw phase the Abyss Dweller. Those damage jugglers aren't real cards, and they're starting their entire game with 3 cards, and 2 of those have to be used to set up a pendulum scale in some method. Whether it's like through Monkey Board, that's a 1-card way, but that still only yields them with 2 cards at most that they can pendulum summon. And they're not going to be able to clear your board, get through Draco Sacks and stuff like that with those 2 cards. It's just not going to be something that's possible, but even if they are able to mount some form of play to clear a part of a threat off your board, whether they like Castel the Draco Sack, or Castel this, Diamond Dire this, anything, you can just Abyss Sphere into Lind, get something based off what other water monster you might have had left in your hand. All of these factors come into play. So you basically just have this incredibly strong turn 1 that generates a massive amount of advantage that you can ride out until the end of the game. So ultimately, that is it for this combo video. I will probably do a few more, probably at least 2 more, Some will be a little bit more simple, and then one might be a lot more complex and a lot more convoluted. So stay tuned for those. But anyway, that is all for this video. As always, guys, thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, do all the nonsense you usually do. Let me know how you guys liked this video and this style of video. My light isn't really extending where I want it to go. I've got a separate lighting rig to make these videos have the lighting that I want them to have, but this one seems to have knocked it before I started the video, and then I forgot to check. Oops! But maybe I'll work that out between now and the next video. So maybe just adjust some camera settings and all that nonsense. But anyway, as I've already said, let me know what you guys think about this in the comments down below. If you have any suggestions of decks that you want me to potentially do some combo videos on that are something like this, it's just let me know. If you like to see these combo videos, definitely just destroy that like button, smash it, like as many of the video, like it as many times as you see fit, and that'll just do nothing but encourage more of these combo videos to come out in the future for this deck as well as different ones. Clicking on it if you have not, I'd greatly appreciate it. It helps me make money. There's no reason to lie to you guys about that. If you have an ad block enabled, please disable it for a few seconds and click some ads, then put it back on when you're done. It helps me out more than you could ever know, and it just does nothing but motivate me to further make videos like this, because I know that means that you guys like them. If they make money, that means that you like them because you went out of your way to click ads, remove ad block, do whatever, and it just motivates me further to keep making them. So there is that. But that is all for this video. As always, guys, take care. Be on the lookout for more Mermail combo videos to come out in the future.